Okay everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another 2 million credit guide to help you get these credits as quickly and as easily as possible. Now we are at Bathurst in Group 3 on racing soft tyres. That means you can use any Group 3 car. However, we all know what happens. The Genesis is probably going to be the best car for this, and at the moment it currently is, and I think it will remain probably the best car because this track, it really suits this track. Now if you do enjoy these videos and they help you get the gold, it's a massive help to my channel if you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comment section if it's managed to improve your time. I do love reading them comments. So let's get on with this, show you how to enter, and then we'll go into detail on how to get a good lap around Bathurst in Group 3. So going into the sport mode menu in the top right hand corner, you're going to click on that and you are going to go into the online time trial section. From here you'll be greeted with two separate time trials. I have a guide for both of these on the channel, so check out the 2 million credit playlist if you want to check out them. So yeah, we're going to go into Bathurst, the Group 3 one, and you can currently see the top time is Medi on a 58.193. Now I reckon that gold is going to go down to at least a 201.4, so another 3 attempts to come off what Medi's done there. So you are going to need to push this lap time if you're struggling a little bit. It is going to be quite close, I think, towards the end, how much this is going to get pushed. But I'm currently in the top 10, so that means you can chase my Ghost, and I'll leave it there because I don't go back on to improve it because I like to leave the Ghost there for you lot to chase. So let's get into this guide and help you out. So going into turn 1, we are going to brake just past the 100 board on the right hand side. You can see it there. We're just going past it and we're onto the brakes. So brake a little bit early than what you would expect, really. You don't want to be too late on the brakes here because you're going to go down to second gear. Now there is different ways of doing this corner. I do this in second gear and accelerate out on second gear. So you just clip the apex on the left hand side, trail brake in, and then onto the throttle quite aggressively in second gear. Now a faster way to do it, if you can nail it, is to get into third gear a little bit earlier and actually come out of the corner in third gear rather than second. But it's a little bit trickier to do and get exactly right. So I use second gear. It just feels a little bit safer and consistent for me. So going into the next braking zone, we are going to brake just before the end of this little grey tarmac line there. Before that tarmac ends, we're onto the brakes just before that. And we want to take a really aggressive line into this corner, so you want to be on the throttle super early. So you're going to see we're going to attack the corner from here and keep your eye on that trail braking, and then keep your eye on that throttle. Onto the throttle really early. Now just keep an eye on it as I just playing with that throttle ever so slightly, just in case we're going to hit the wall on the left, which we nearly do. If you do that, it's invalidated lap. But we managed to get through there quite nicely. And now as we come through, you can either use the Marshall post on the right hand side with the lamppost, or I prefer using the apex, just the middle of the apex, because you're looking there as you're going through the corner. You don't really want to be looking to the right hand side. So yeah, I tend to look at the apex and just use that as a braking reference. You can see onto the brakes, dead on that center point of the apex. And now you don't want to go too far wide on this corner. You want to try and keep it just towards the outside, but not going over the white line. And now this is all about getting the rotation into this corner. So second gear, and again, you can use first gear for more rotation in this corner, but I keep it in second, and then just keep that throttle down as aggressively as you can. And smooth inputs are really important through this section. If you start getting erratic, you're going to lose the rear of the car. Smooth inputs. And now into this right hand corner, just past the tree on the left there, you can see it. We've just got off the accelerator. That's going to help with rotation. And then back onto that throttle. Now you can see slight little lifts as I'm going through the apex there, just because I don't want to hit the wall on the left and invalidate the lap. But you can do that more aggressively than what I've done there, being a bit cautious there. Now into these really fast left hand corners, what you want to do is widen the line in to be able to carry as much speed as possible, because your left hand tyre is going to try and clip the curb on the left. So little lift off the throttle as we're approaching the corner. And then we're going to get back onto the throttle. You're going to see back onto the throttle, left hand tight up onto the curb. And again, you're going to see that throttle just playing ever so slightly every now and then. And now into this next left hand corner. At the start of the curb, you're going to see that we're going to just lift off the throttle ever so slightly there. Now you can see the purple line that we use. That is the line that a lot of the faster drivers will use. They'll go right up to the wall and rotate it in so that you can get this tyre as close to the wall as possible with as much speed as possible. I tend to just avoid that curb because if you hit it funny, it just unsettles the car. Now into this downhill section, you're braking way before the Audi R8 board above your head there. You want to brake very early and just 50% braking as we go down the hill. You can see, and then a little bit extra, and then try and get your left hand tyre up onto the curb here to widen the line into this next right hand corner. So up onto the curb, and then aggressive braking, back into trail braking, and now your right hand tyre needs to be as close as possible to this wall on the left, because we're going to try and keep it to the right hand side so that we can then throw it on this downhill section, because it's really important. This, you can see the braking going inputs going in now, and then you can see at this point here, your right hand tyre just needs to stay on the right hand side of that white line. You want to try and cut some of it off, and then back onto the throttle aggressively. And this is very tricky. I, again, probably could have gone into third gear earlier and got a better exit all the way through there, but I just played it in second gear. And yeah, it might not be the quickest, but it just feels a bit safe for me. Now, braking just before the board on our left-hand side there, you can see now braking input's going in all the way through that corner, but you're getting more aggressive as you come to the downhill section. And now we're going to start trail braking in all the way down, trail braking, and then aggressively on the throttle. But just be careful you don't go 100% throttle straight away, because you will just go straight into the wall. You see how I went like 70-80%. And now it's all about just acceleration down this hill. Now remember, with this car you don't want to rev it out, so keep an eye on the shifting. I'm shifting just before the end, and I probably could have shifted a little bit earlier. I think I might have been over revving this ever so slightly, so maybe shift a little bit earlier than what I've been doing on this lap. And now coming into this nearly at the end of the lap, second to last corner, we're going to get on the brakes just past the 150 board there. So you can see just past the 150 onto the brakes. Now keep the braking in a straight line, and you want to be quite aggressive into this corner. So down to second gear, but we're going to actually get back up to third gear when we get to the acceleration. So as we get on the accelerator up to third gear, just clip the curb on left. Be careful you don't hit it too hard, because if you hit it too aggressively, it unsettles the car. And again, just be careful all the way through, you don't run too far wide. And now into the final corner. This is, again, a corner that's really important for your lap, because if you brake too late, I brake just past 100 board here, brake too late, you're just going to understeer and go off the track. So brake just past 100 board, now keep it in a straight line, and then start trail braking as you're turning into the apex here. So it's like a 90 degrees left, and it's all about getting the exit speed. So you can see, clip the apex, then onto the throttle, aggressively in second gear, and then upshift to third gear as you come out the corner now and over the line for a pretty decent 158.899. It could have been better, and after watching Mehdi's lap on the Ghost, I'm going to try and point out some things now that he did that will get you a little bit more time. So going into this corner, like I said before, he uses third gear here, so I'm using second gear there. You can see mine's second gear, but he uses third gear to really power out the corner and avoid that gear shift as he goes up the straight. And one thing I noticed from Mehdi, he was short shifting a lot more than me. He was actually shifting a kind of a fraction earlier than what I was, which was giving him more momentum up the hill. And then in through these corners, this was very similar how we did it. Not much difference through here. It was all very similar to how I've done this. And then into this next corner, it was all similar, apart from the fact that he uses first gear. As we come through here, he uses first gear for a bit more rotation. He brakes a little bit later, so he uses that later braking, first gear rotation, and gains probably about a tenth on that corner alone. So that is definitely a corner where I can improve on if I use first gear, I think, to brake a little bit later. All the way through here as well, he takes a little bit more speed, because he really pushes the limits close to the walls. And on this corner here, he gets the car up onto the curb and takes a much wider line in and carries much more speed into this next braking zone. So he gains quite a bit on that section there. Downhill as well is where he gains massively, because he's much more aggressive. He's into that third gear earlier than me there, and he uses third gear all the way through the exit and gains probably a tenth or so there. And then onto this final corner, I think he uses first gear again, like I do there, and then gets on the throttle really nicely and carries the speed a little bit better than what I did there. You see how I got a little bit of a loose on the rear and probably lost me a tenth or so. He gets a really nailed exit on that corner, which manages to get him down into the low 58s. So the last two corners, not a huge difference between how we did it. He takes a little bit more speed through this corner that we're approaching now. You can see I go down to second gear. I think I hit this curb maybe a little bit too aggressive. Let's have a little look. We hit the curb. It wasn't too bad, but he manages to get on the power a little bit earlier than me, and that is where you find time at Bathurst, on that power fraction earlier, and you'll just benefit massively. This final corner wasn't hugely different to how he did it, but he did manage to get obviously a little bit more power down and gained again on that final corner, and that's how he's managing to get them very low 58. So I think I could probably, after watching Mehdi's lap, I'm pretty sure we could get a 58.5, but I don't think I could go much faster than that, because he is absolutely on the limit on his lap, and I think he's got another couple attempts in it, which is quite worrying, like I say, with the predicted goal being a bit quicker than what currently is on there. But yeah, if you enjoyed this guide, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comment section if we've managed to help you out. Thanks again for watching, everyone.